Lately, I've been such a hobbies girl, and it's been making life feel so much lighter outside of the regular work, you know, the 9 to 5 cycle. Even though I'm a freelancer, I still get kind of stuck in that cycle. And with summer coming around, I really wanted to do things that just make life feel light and fun and enjoyable. So today we're doing something a little bit different on my channel. This was actually inspired by a SubStack post that I have in my notes, which was by Milk and Cookies, called Adult Hobbies Worth Trying. Honestly, adulthood can feel like an endless loop of tasks, and I think it's really important to lean into things like hobbies that just kind of keep life feeling more light and enjoyable again. So if you've been feeling kind of stuck in a rut or just kind of stuck in that work grind lately and having a hard time getting out of it, this video is for you. One of the simplest pleasures that I've discovered recently, and one that I've had on my list for a while and I just haven't gotten into, is to start like a little herb garden. And you know, even if basil is the only survivor of this little garden, I'm going to be proud of myself for starting it. And it's kind of ironic actually that I said basil, because that is the one that I discovered today is struggling the hardest. So that one may not survive, and that's totally okay, because I'm enjoying just the process of even learning about these plants, how much water each one needs, what to expect, and also thinking about different recipes where I can incorporate some of them. And it really feels more meaningful when you're actually taking part in helping cultivate that food that you're going to eat. So it's been making more than just going outside and learning about these plants enjoyable. It's also made me think more about cooking, made me think more about drinks, which we'll get into later in this video. And yeah, I've just been really loving it. And I was reading up on quick tips for like people who are just starting out with one of these little gardens. The tip that I came across was to pick ones that require minimal effort to keep alive. One of those was basil. You can fact check me on that. The other one was rosemary and mint. Apparently they need minimal care, just consistent watering. So, oh, and plenty of sunlight, of course. My basil is looking extremely tragic. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep them alive. I've only had them for like a week. I'm hoping we can revive it. I don't want to lose the basil. Now, if I didn't mention Notion in this video, would it be a video from me? Probably not. I did build a Notion template. Well, no, I didn't build a Notion template. I used someone else's template for figuring out how often to water my plants. But I also found this app recently that I wanted to share called Planta. This is a really great plant app for adding in plants. And then also you can just like search them up here. I should show you guys. Let me record my screen. For example, let's do basil. I don't have that one in there. You can add basil to your list of plants, and it tells you here, very high water. We missed out on that. Water every second day, see? Like it just has everything you need to know about the plant. So then you add it to your list. Say balcony, part sun, part shade, in a pot. I'm gonna skip the photo for right now. Your plant adds to your garden and it starts to add your tasks. And I think this app is actually way cooler than the Notion one I set up. I just haven't finished adding all the plants in here. So I'm going to suggest this. I don't know if there's like a paid plan or if you hit a limit with too many plants. Yeah, I haven't used it enough to figure that out, but I think it's a really cool app and it like tells you all the details you need to know about the plants as well. So that's another little fun tip to make the whole experience more enjoyable. Another delightful activity that I plan to get more into, just because I enjoy going on walks anyways, is bird watching, which I always kind of just associated with like older people, like what they do. But I don't know, maybe I'm just like leaning into that more, but I think it's just like because I live downtown as well, I really miss being out in nature. And so I really enjoy the times that I am. And I'm trying to come up with ways that like are just more immersive. I kind of mentioned in my last video, album walks, where you listen to a full album when you go on a walk, and now talking about bird watching walks. And I have a little fun app that I've been using for that as well. But I think just living in the city, noticing birds is more enjoyable in a way because it requires a bit more focus to figure out what's around you. There's just like less. And maybe you'll be surprised by what you find. And a little tip, and something that I enjoy to do just naturally, is to bring a notebook or sketchbook with you, take some little sketches of whatever you see, write down observations. And another good tip is that it's best probably to go in the morning when there's less people around and you can probably observe more. And you could always bring like a fun little thermos or like some kind of cup with your coffee. Maybe you pick up a coffee on the way and just make it like an enjoyable morning routine ritual. My little tip too is if you're sketching, I find nature comes around you more because you're so still and quiet. Every time I sketch, the birds and butterflies and critters just seem to like come out and join me. So that's my little tip too. If you want to see more birds, sketch more. Now for my app recommendation. The app that I recommend for this it's called Merlin ID, I believe. And with Merlin, you can basically identify a bird by the sound, take a photo, and kind of explore what is in your area as well. So you set it like your location. So I set mine to Calgary, and you can kind of see like what would be nearby, what do they sound like. I think it's a really cool app and one that I want to use more as well. But yeah, I think it's just like a fun additional app. And I love when apps make you enjoy real day activities more. Like there's something I enjoy about tech, like what's it called? Amplifying something that you do in real life instead of taking you away from real life. Anyways, that's just something that I find I enjoy in apps. So if anyone's building apps out there, please make more that have to do with like in-person activities that you're elevating instead of taking us away from the real life activities and putting us online. Another hobby that's easy and free, relatively free at least, all you need is a pen, calligraphy, which I love that I just struggled to say that word and I'm not going to try again. That could be a little bit more specialized. I don't know if you're using specific pens or anything like that. For me, I just enjoy journaling. I also love sketching in an iPad. It doesn't have to be always on pen and paper, but just, you know, whether it's you journaling down thoughts or you sketching more often, just really that pen to paper or pen to iPad kind of feeling is a really relaxing thing that you can do as well. When you do activities like sketching or journaling, it really enhances your mindfulness. And I think I at least feel it really decrease stress levels as well. It's funny how writing can immediately make you feel better, just like less stressed. I find as soon as I put those thoughts down on paper, I'm like, okay, we understand why we're feeling the way we do, what needs to happen, what the next steps are, and I always just feel immediately better. So this is a little reminder. If you haven't journaled in a while, if you're feeling a little all over the place, put those thoughts to paper or put those thoughts to iPad paper and you will feel so much better. So yeah, you don't need fancy tools for this one. If you have an iPad, great. If you just have a notebook and a simple pen, that's all you need for this. And if you need some prompts, say you want to journal, there's so many online, but you could start with ones like what made you smile today, or write down things that you're grateful for. I love doing that in my 5-minute journal every morning. For those of you who have watched my morning routines, you probably know that already about me, but I think that's also something that just really helps you get in a better headspace for the day as well. Another app, if you don't want to do it by hand, but I do recommend that you do, because I just think when you write things by hand, it just, in my opinion, decreases stress levels more, makes you feel better. What you can do is use this app. I downloaded it. I used to use this in the past, although it doesn't have my old journal entries, but I remember using this in the past. You can use a day one where you can basically just do like a little journal entry on your phone each day. I think this is another great opportunity for those of you who have really busy lives. Maybe you're on transit, you're on the train, you don't have time or space to bring a notebook and a pen. You could just journal on your phone as well. And I think that is equally a good option for just getting those thoughts down. And like I said, I prefer it with paper and pen, but I think there's still a lot of benefits of just doing this in general. And I did say I was going to talk about drinks in this video. Another fun thing that you can get into, and this is completely brand new for me, is making cocktails, or for me, mocktails, and just getting more creative with the combinations that you're making. I bought like a little cocktail shaker set off Amazon because I realized I don't really have any of the tools that people were suggesting you use online. And you can look up all these different kind of drinks and things that you can make, and you can pull things from your little herb garden to use in those cocktails, which I think just makes it more fun. And you can just really set the mood, light some candles, play some music, and just really get into the zone and feel like, I don't know, I like to feel like I'm a professional while I'm working on this. I think it's a good way to disconnect from work too, when you end your evening making a little drink for yourself and really focusing on that instead of getting distracted by like throwing a TV show on the background or anything. Just really immerse yourself in making the drink. So some fun tips for making this more enjoyable is to think of seasonal drinks. Like maybe it's more of like a summertime drink, or if you're watching this video way later in life and it's the fall, hello, or winter, try a different seasonal drink that kind of spices up the mood and sets the tone. As I mentioned, you can use little herbs like the ones from your herb garden if you're going to try that first, and think of drinks that you can use where you incorporate those in the specific drinks. You can also do things, I've seen people online, and this is something I want to try, where they make really cute ice cubes that are like pretty as well. Like they have little things in them, whether it's like edible flowers or some kind of flavored ice cubes that you can also add into your drink too. Guys, I feel like I am living the life. I have made a mocktail from the little herb in my garden. Well, not my garden, my balcony garden. My little pots. It's actually very refreshing. I actually like that a lot. I read online tarragon is the herb that I used. I don't think I've ever eaten it before. Not everyone loves it, but I actually like this. It's very refreshing. Life is good, guys. You don't need much. You just need some plants and a mocktail in your hand and you're pretty happy with life. Another tip I have is photography. We can all take photos now. We have smartphones, most of us, and the quality is actually pretty good. So just make that more of like a fun hobby. And I've been doing this more lately because I've actually been posting on Threads, which I haven't before. And I don't know if I'm using it the way you're supposed to, but I'm just like posting whatever on there. For some reason, it feels like less pressure than cultivating a perfect Instagram feed. So I've just really enjoyed taking photos of pretty much anything. If I'm on a walk and I spot something that I like, or I have a new cute mug. I actually just posted on Threads today, one with a little mug that I got recently. It's this little cute Miffy mug that has like a little bunny rabbit like lid. Anyways, you can follow me on Threads if you want to see more of that. But yeah, just take photos of more things and think about things in more of a creative way as you go about your day. And I think that just makes it more enjoyable as well. And I have a fun little app for this, of course, one that I used to use in the past. And now I'm like, okay, I need to get back into this, which is, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Hugie. Yeah, basically it makes your camera feel like a little film camera. And let's take a photo right now. Oh, I see. It's like this. I'll take a photo of you guys on my tripod lap. There we go. Yeah, you can just take photos in more of a nostalgic kind of film vibe, and I think it makes things more fun. So that's another tip for just spicing things up using an app. I definitely want to get back into the habit of taking more photos. Some years go by and I realize I've hardly taken any, and then some years, the years where I'm feeling more creative, I look back and I have so many memories to look back on, and I prefer to be someone who is taking photos in the moment and have those to look back on, but each to their own as well. If that's not your thing, this does not have to be the type of hobby that you pick up. Another hobby that can be fun is crafting more, and that could be whether you sew or you do embroidery, or some people make candles. I recently got like a little jewelry making kit because I used to love making jewelry as a kid and I really forgot about that. And you can just get these like super affordable sets on Amazon, and I thought it'd be more fun to just like, I think just sit down and do the act of making things with your hands is just, it's just like this amazing stress relief, and it does make me feel more like a kid again. Each of these type of crafts really offer therapeutic like rhythm and creativity, and I think that's why they feel like such stress reliefs. And then you get tangible outcomes. Either it's like a beautiful gift for a friend or one that you can keep for yourself. So my tips for this is you can start with a beginner friendly kit like myself. I just got a really easy jewelry making kit off Amazon. You could also host like a cozy craft night with your friends. I had a friend do this once for Valentine's Day where all the girls went over and made little bracelets, and it was so fun and enjoyable. Or you could also do things like repurpose old things that you don't use anymore, whether I think there's different ways people use old things to make candles, or even old pieces of jewelry that you could craft into something new. And I don't have an app for this one, but you could just look on Pinterest. That's kind of my app suggestion to get more ideas. So many people share creative blogs or like how-to like tutorials to follow on Pinterest as well, that even the suggestions that I made for crafts, like you'll find so many more options on there that you could follow along. And lastly, this one's a little embarrassing, but one that I think we all just need to incorporate more in our lives. Whether you can't sing and can't dance, or you can, I think we just need to incorporate more music into our lives, whether that's you making your mocktails or your cocktails and dancing around the kitchen and singing and putting on some music and just lifting yourself up, or even getting started in the day in the mornings when you first wake up, you put on some music and kind of dance around. It immediately, for me at least, it lifts my mood. So put on your favorite playlist. Don't worry about looking cool or sounding good. If no one's around, you really don't have to worry about that. I'm going to spare you guys from having to see any clips of me dancing around and singing because it's not a pretty sight, but I will say it has been so fun. And some tips for this that I wrote down was to make themed playlists. Like you could have bad day recovery, a main character energy playlist, dance like no one's watching playlist. And as you can probably see, none of these hobbies have to be super grand or intensive or even cost you much money. Like you don't have to go to classes. These are just things that you can do for fun at home. And they're really simply reminders that life doesn't have to be all about productivity. It doesn't have to be about doing things of monetary value or always be learning things that you're going to use in your work field. They can just be things that are just for your pure enjoyment. I think it's all about embracing small, joyful moments that make us feel more alive. So I'd love to hear from all of you what you're currently getting into. What are some hobbies that you've picked up accidentally or intentionally? Are there any from this video that you plan to try out? Do you have any tips for me with my little herb garden? Because you can tell I need them. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you all in the comments down below. And also don't forget to subscribe. I plan to have more videos like this coming out soon. Let me know if you want to see like an update video and maybe a few months to come to let you know if my hobbies have flourished into anything further or if they've reached a dead end and I haven't continued with them. But that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, friends.